Yo, what's going on YouTube? Welcome back to yet another authentication guide video. In today's one, we're going to be taking a closer look at how you can spot fake Gucci Ace elastic band sneakers. This new version of the Gucci Aces is from the Autumn Winter 2018 collection. If you'd like to know a bit more about it in terms of how they fit and the materials that go into making the product, make sure you click the top right at some point in the video. If you do that, there'll be a direct link to the fit review video I did on these shoes, so have a look at that if you are interested in getting them. But for the purposes of this video, we're going to be solely looking at how to spot fakes, and we're going to start by looking at the box cover. For the duration of this video, the fake's always going to be on the left here and the real one will be on the right. If you've watched any of my Gucci videos before, you'll notice that the fakes always get the box cover wrong. This can happen in different ways, but it's usually in relation to the black outline around the edge or the color. And with this one here, we can see it's in relation to the color. If you just look at the white on the original Gucci box here, you can see that the shade of it is slightly different to what you see on the fake. I will bring them closer now. If you're not familiar with Gucci products, this difference will probably seem insignificant to you, but this is something I consistently see a lot of the fakes getting wrong, so it would definitely make sense to look out for that. And going into a little more detail, what you should be able to see is that on the original box covers, the Gucci font is raised, and you should also be able to see the vertical grooves in the box cover as well. If you look at the fake, the text isn't raised at all. Obviously you'll need it in hand to do that, but if you look for the vertical grooves, you can see they're not really visible at all. Definitely not in comparison to what we saw on the original one. There also seems to be a slight size and boldness difference in the font as well. If we now look into the contents of the actual box, the first thing you're going to notice is the tissue paper. With the original shoes, you will get this kind of soft paper. If you look at the fake though, this is literally just paper, like A4 paper that you use to print stuff on. So that's a huge giveaway straight away. You wouldn't even need to see anything else. Then you'd also want to look at the dust bags as well. With original Gucci shoes, you'll get two, one for each shoe. And if we bring them up close, you can see the font on the fake is completely wrong. The label itself is the wrong color and the dust bag itself is too white as well. The details I've mentioned so far in relation to the books and dust bags tend to be consistent across most Gucci fakes. So definitely take those into consideration when you're buying online or buying off a friend or something. Probably 8 times out of 10 you're going to be able to spot a fake just by looking at those few things. But yeah, with that being covered, we can move on now and look at the actual shoes. Alright, cool, so we got the shoes out now. Just a reminder before I get started, there are a lot of different levels of fakes out there. As you saw with the LV belt authentication guide that I recently released, these vary a lot. So whilst I do only try to show you tails which I think will be applicable to your situation, this isn't always possible. So just bear that in mind whilst I'm showing you the differences between the two shoes. If I bring these two closer now, you can see that on the fake the laces are white, whereas on the original the laces are more of a beige color. Moving upwards to look at the Gucci elastic band, you can see that the letters are bigger on the original and the spacing also looks a bit wider. The red is also a darker color as well, and the elastic band color is also slightly wrong on the fake. The positioning of the rubber band is actually wrong as well. On the real one, you should be able to see the 2 lace holes at the top. If we go to the fake, you can see that it's covered up because the band has been positioned too high. If we take a brief look at the inside of the shoe as well, we can see that the color is also wrong on the fake. And then also you can see that the Gucci embossing on the insole is different as well. This is how it should look, this is how it shouldn't look. Moving on from that, I'm going to quickly speed through a few other things you can look at as well. And these tails are mainly going to involve the heel and the sole. So if we look at the red heel, you can see that the real one has more of a glossy finish to it. The Gucci print is also smaller and gold. On the fake, it looks like it's in silver. And it's way too big as well, so that's an easy spot. Then moving down there, if we look at the midsole, you can see the texture on the real one is a lot more pronounced, stands out a lot more as well. Now if we move on to the sole, we've got this little box with the Gucci made in Italy at the bottom. The whole finish is kind of wrong on the fakes. This is what the real one should look like. And then moving up from there, we've got this logo finish on the middle of the sole. There isn't a huge difference here, but the real one does look slightly sharper. Other than that, there isn't really too much to show you on these. There are a few extra details such as the insole, the embossing behind the tongue, what the shoe actually looks like when you take the insole out. If you want to have a look at these, head over to Instagram at @CloserLookOfficial. That's where I post all the little details that are going to help you even more. But in terms of this video, I've given you all the tips I can. If you found it useful, make sure to let me know by leaving a like. If you're new here, feel free to check out some of the other authentication guides I've done as well. But once again, I hope you found this video useful and I'll see you guys again in a bit.